They transformed her from bullied outcast to Miss Irresistible, and she repaid them by taking their lives. Hello everyone, my name is Anya, and in this video we're going to take a look at what happened on this day in the year 2003. The crimes of Christine Paolilla. On the 18th of July 2003, 17-year-old Christine Paolilla and her 21-year-old boyfriend Chris Snyder travelled to the home of Christine's two best friends, 18-year-old Rachel Colorutis and 18-year-old Tiffany Rowell. Christine had a lot to thank Rachel and Tiffany for. Growing up, Christine didn't really have a good family life. Her father was killed in a construction accident when she was just a couple years old. Her mother turned to drugs and lost custody of her children. And Christine faced severe bullying at school because she suffered from a condition known as alopecia, or hair loss. Kids would make fun of the fact that she wore wigs and wide-rimmed glasses. They would run up behind her and pull her wig off of her head and call her horrific names. Things took a turn for the better, however, when Christine's mother kicked her drug addiction and remarried. She regained custody of her children, and the family moved to Clear Lake City, Texas for a fresh start. Christine was enrolled in Clear Lake High School, and that was where she met Rachel Colorutis and Tiffany Rowell. They could see that Christine was quite shy, lacked confidence, and they felt that they could help her. They befriended Christine and they gave her a full makeover. By 2003, Christine had transformed from bullied outcast to being voted Miss Irresistible by her high school. So she definitely had a lot to thank Rachel and Tiffany for. Things were not so good in her love life, however. Christine was involved with a man by the name of Chris Snyder. Her friends and family were never really big fans of Chris. They said he was quite violent, possessive, and he brought Christine into the world of drugs and guns. When Christine and Chris arrived at Rachel and Tiffany's house on the 18th of July 2003, they were carrying guns and walked inside with the full intention to murder. It was a couple of days later that police were called to the home of Rachel and Tiffany. They would find the bodies of 18-year-old Rachel Colorutis, 18-year-old Tiffany Rowell, and also the bodies of Tiffany's boyfriend, 18-year-old Marcus Petrella, and his cousin, 21-year-old Adelbert Sanchez. It was a gruesome sight. All four had been shot multiple times, and Rachel had suffered severe bashing in her head. Her skull and face were covered in blood. Because the killers had left very little evidence, police had very little to go about. They questioned neighbours, and a neighbour nearby was able to give them a sketch of two people they had seen approaching Rachel and Tiffany's house on the 18th of July. But aside from this sketch, police had nothing to go on in terms of finding the killers. The case would go cold for the next 3 years. During that time, Christine and Chris broke off their relationship. She eventually married a man by the name of Justin Rott. She had met Justin in a rehab centre, and they went on to go deeper into the world of drugs. They ended up living in a putrid motel room, and they would shoot drugs on a very regular basis. The case went cold until July of 2006, when an anonymous tip came forward to the police. This tip came from a man who had been in the same rehab centre as Christine Paolilla. He made the claim that Christine had bragged about her involvement in the murders of Colorutis, Rowell, Sanchez, and Petrella. Police were finally able to track down Christine and her husband Justin Rott on the 19th of July 2006, 3 years and 1 day after the murders. Christine and Justin were both arrested and brought into the police station for questioning. Police said that their motel room was a squalor site. Drugs were lined up everywhere and blood on the wall from where they had shot drugs. Justin was questioned by police, and he said that Christine had admitted to him her involvement in the killing of her friends and their boyfriends. Christine admitted to him that she and Chris had arrived at the house on the 18th of July 2003 with the intention of killing them. They shot Rachel, Tiffany, Adelbert and Marcus multiple times, and when Christine went back to check, she found Rachel still alive and trying to call for help. She then pistol whipped Rachel multiple times in the head until she finally died. Rachel was said to be found still clutching onto the phone she had used to try and call for help. Upon questioning, Christine Paolilla admitted her involvement in the killing of her friends and their boyfriends. She was arrested and charged with 4 counts of murder. Chris Snyder, on the other hand, was never brought to justice. When he learned that a warrant was out for his arrest and the police were looking for him, he went into secluded woods and committed suicide. Christine Paolilla was left to face the consequences of her actions all on her own. In 2008, she was found guilty on 4 counts of murder. She was sentenced to life imprisonment with no possibility of parole for 40 years. She will be eligible for parole when she is 60 years of age. The true motivation for their crimes was never really fulfilled, but it's said that Christine was quite jealous of Rachel and Tiffany, and it's said that she just wanted them gone from her life. The case of Christine Paolilla is quite an upsetting and a sad one, to say the least. She murdered her 2 best friends for no real reason. They transformed her from bullied outcast to Miss Irresistible, and she repaid them by taking their lives. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. My name is Anya, and we just looked at what happened on this day.